Hello everybody, this is Ken MRVHS, and welcome back to our potentially doomed Strat Clut campaign in Thrones of Britannia. Here we are being assaulted at Govan again, once again our capital, by an army of Ulaid, and this doesn't look too bad, honestly. We've got a few units that we just trained the turn before, but we've also got a garrison right here with, you know, a couple of longbowmen, some basic stuff I think will be alright here. So we will deploy. And I think once again we're going to set up across the bridges on this end. Although actually this is a little bit of a different... I think I was thinking about a different settlement. Oh no, it's just that previously they came from the other side. So on this end... Actually, it probably makes sense. We've got a nice double wall here. And so let's just get all of our longbowmen up on this. We'll make sure that they are not skirmishing. They're attacking in the rain, so there's no option for fire arrows this time, which is alright, to be honest. Let's see. We can hit them pretty well from right up here. So that means as soon as they approach the gate and come into the gate, we will be shooting at them. Of course, they'll be shooting at us and throwing javelins and things. It's not going to be fun, but I think we'll be okay. And they probably will go up here. That seems to be the way the AI likes to go. We've got a couple of barricades to place. I guess we can do one here. It seems like probably the best option. And another one, sure, over here. There's really no point in having it way down there, but we have to place it. So in terms of our cav, I think this is the central area that we want to defend. So the cav can be like somewhere back here. And we've got our newly trained Welsh spearmen, or newly upgraded rather. Let's take a look at these guys. Alright, I mean, you know, they've got better shields, I guess. Otherwise they look very similar to the previous ones. This is just a levy unit, so it's not going to be, you know, super heavily armed. I think they just have some better stats. Visually, though, they look pretty much the same. And we've got our new Welsh mailed swordsman as well. I think this is... This may be the new unit. Either that or we're currently training the upgrade to this. But in any case, there they are. And we do have some levy javelin men that I think... Yeah, they've got decent range. Maybe we'll put them over here. Just because the AI is likely to come around this way. So in terms of our spears... Put them right about there. And I think our swordsman could go just behind, and the axeman as well. And then we've got a few other units that that have some bonuses, so we'll just leave them there. And so approaching, what do we find? Okay, some mailed Fianna. We've seen these guys before. Some freemen, spearmen, some kind of low-tier stuff. Kern axemen. What's this? Okay, they do have a unit of gallow glasses here, looking very nice. And some raider swordsmen. But yeah, pretty basic army. They've got a couple units of the wolfhounds, I guess.
End the siege!
But I don't think that's going to help them very much. So we'll speed this up until they get in range. Alright, and their mailed Fianna have gotten up the first tower. They are under heavy fire from our longbowmen, though, and so we're whittling them down quite substantially. They're probably going to be routing very soon. Unit of freemen spearmen I'm not too concerned about. Maybe we'll hold back the arrows on our tougher longbowmen. These guys we can deal with our spear troops. I want to focus on the gallow glasses and the enemy cavalry bodyguard types, if possible. They're going to be under some more fire from our longbowmen for a little while. There's the gallow glasses there. And I can actually hit their bodyguard. So let's slow it down and let's try that. This is can't remember if it's their king or anything like that. Gallow glasses are actually fairly under strength, only 50 men remaining, so if we can make something of a dent in their household riders, I think that's the good option. Now they are going to send some men around the other side, but it will take them a while to get there. They'll have some towers to get through on the way, and then they'll, you know, be in the back of us. But typically I don't think they're going to send, you know, too much. Okay, some wolfhounds. So that will be slightly annoying to deal with. Okay, let's get the... They're sending their horse boys to shoot at our archers. So who do we want to target at this point? Well, we can still hit him, so let's keep shooting at the bodyguard. We're not taking that many losses currently.
What's your command? Bowmen, let's go to war.
It is showing they're obstructed though, so let's get them back in the wall. If we don't have a good shot at this guy, then we'll just change targets.
Get them! One of our units has used its ammunition. Javelins!
Yeah, let's target those gallow glasses with our javelins.
Arrows! Watch it! Roll over them!
They've taken a few losses, not too many. And what are they bringing around? Wolfhounds, some spears, more wolfhounds, and some javelins. So I could peel away, like... Why don't I grab all of these guys, and we'll bring them over there. At least get them started in that direction. I think that'll be sufficient. Alright, our longbowmen are really starting to get chewed up now. Well, you know, they're part of the garrison, and so they will be retrained eventually. We'll start moving these guys up.
Steady now! Spearmen! Ready and willing! And on! Swordsmen! Mangle them! Heirs of Arthur! Forward! Riders, up the pace! Everybody brace! Spearmen! Up the pace! Pound the ground!
Alright, I think we got this pretty well wrapped up. These guys are wavering. And very low numbers over here. So what we want to do is chase off these kind of ranged units.
Let's go to war.
May as well bring my my cavalry this way.
Levyman, that's my blood. Let's do that.
These guys may come back, but if they do, it's just a few raider swordsmen. These guys are going to be broken pretty soon.
We are the company now. Let's go to war. Levy men. Break them. Spearmen. Quick march it is. We are the Cymry! True Britons! Spearmen!
Alright, so they're now shattered, along with everybody else over here. We'll move them to support this side. The enemy general is now wiped out, and so we'll bring these guys to hit. Actually, you hold on.
Yes, we will! Spearmen! Ready and willing. Axemen! Who needs thrashing?
Go after those horse boys.
What's your command?
There are a few spearmen over here. I'm not too worried about it. If we can get in a decent charge or something, or at least just some kind of flank.
What's your command? Up the pace. Spearmen.
Yeah, so they're bringing around these other guys to support. I think this is all ranged stuff. Yeah, we're already getting some routing happening here.
Attack!
The horse boys, though, got around us, and so we got to chase them off with our cav.
What's your command? Spearman.
I mean, I guess there's nothing else out here, so there's not much of a point in bringing all these units around, but I think we'll be fine over here too, so that's the last of those horse boys. Let's charge into these spearmen with our cav, and then we'll just bring them around to deal with the ranged units, and then that should be the end of it.
Steady, boys. They're charging.
Yeah. That's enough to get them routing, and these guys are shaken already, so we should have this in a moment here. And there they go. All right, let's just end the battle. A decisive victory. So I didn't bother to clean that up. We'll see how many remain on the battlefield. Oh, I guess it says 367 remaining. One thing I really don't like about these newer games is that you really have to do that busy work of chasing them down. And because of the way the animations work on this engine, it just takes forever. It's extremely unsatisfying chasing down routers in Rome 2 or beyond. So yeah, we'll take on warriors here. That was a 20 stack that's now down to 8 units. But in the AI's turn, we've lost some stuff. So we lost Dundalm Null. This is a 20 stack here. They're going to probably take it next turn to occupy. We lost Aberkernig. We lost... What else did we lose? Skonen. Actually, I don't know if we ever got this. But I guess it was Aberkernig that we lost. Oh, Dunbar. That's what happened. They sailed down here to take Dunbar. There's all these raider stacks, and so there's just a ton of them. And so the AI is actually using them very well. So we may not be able to recover from this. We're now in a negative 51 food, and it's kind of like swatting flies at the moment here. What are some mistakes that we made? Let's sort of do a little kind of retrospective here and talk about that. Well, from the start, you know, I didn't play this as a paint the map kind of campaign. What I wanted to try was the Fame Victory for Strat Clut, for the Welsh, and I'm really thinking that's a mistake. Fame Victories always seem attractive to me. I like the idea of building tall, and I think it's possible with some factions to win a Fame Victory in a way that feels more satisfying. The problem is, for the Welsh factions, you've got this heroism mechanic, which requires you to win battles, rank up generals, own settlements, and you know, basically expand, right? You want to own Welsh territory and keep your empire growing is what it seems like. And the big thing is that it decays over time. So heroism will go down. So even if, as you saw, I have pretty much all of the Welsh territory around Strathclyde, if I don't do anything, if we have a pretty peaceful campaign where I'm teching up, that heroism is going to decrease. And so that mechanic is you know, kind of hurting us a little bit in some ways. If it gets really low, it hurts your faction leader, it hurts unit morale, it hurts public order. So this was kind of working against that Fame Victory style. The other thing that I think is problematic is just the fact that we didn't handle the diplomacy probably as well as we could have or should have. I stuck with the Alliance of Kirkin probably too long. I should have maybe hit them sooner and tried to get into the good graces of the Northern Vikings very early. I also had my eye on Iona because we needed it for the Fame Victory, I believe. Yeah, we need a royal monastery. And so this is the closest monastery to us. All the others, I think, are in Ireland. And so, yeah, this is a specialized building. So we needed this. We needed Iona. Or some other Irish province. And because the other thing is, because I didn't quickly take Dunat, Ulaid was just close to me and able to just quickly get into my territory, even after we made peace with them. So this was not handled as well as it should have been. So these are all things that I did wrong. Early on, the easier thing to do would have been to push hard against Northumbria and just grab this territory. And if I want to win the campaign, if we look at the short kingdom victory, that's what I would do. I need to get Strat Clut, I need to get Lodin, and I need to get the North Thridding, which we mostly have at this point. Like, for example, I'm going to take Gyrim this turn. Right, so we'll go ahead and sack that for making a nice bunch of money. And we will occupy this. And, you know, that's going to give me some food, especially if I, you know, repair this stuff. It'll give us some money. But, you know, then I would grab Durham, and then Alt Clut, or Alclite, and then Ketratha, and then I would win. So I could have done this sooner, potentially. But I didn't bother because I didn't want to get that victory. I wanted the Fame one. So I'm thinking, unfortunately, I want to call this campaign. I will come back to this. I mean, we could, well, I could do this right now, I guess, right? What's the difference? We could go ahead and take back Dunbar.
Agreed.
Buy that, and can I hit you? You'll just retreat. So we could do things like that, right? Now I'm back in the positives in terms of food again. Next turn, I could come down here. That gets me some what is it? Some public order and a bunch of income, some fame. We get this, we get some more income, and then we get this, and that's going to cost us some food. Actually, no, they've got a high tier granary here, so that would actually be very good. This certainly would be a tough one to take, but I think we could do it after probably defeating this army in the field somewhere. And, you know, we could probably hold on and maybe eke it out. But it feels like it would be a slog at this point. So, unfortunately, I think I'm going to call it. You know, I play these games typically to a point where it gets, where it becomes clear what's going to happen. Either I'm going to win, in which case the game kind of gets a little boring for me, or it's obvious that I'm going to have a very long slog ahead of me, and that's what we're kind of looking at here. So although we held on fairly well, we saw that the Northern Vikings took over a lot of land up here, and so it would be another bunch of battles before we're able to take care of that. And we only have 220 stacks currently, and we couldn't support much more than that either. So although we held on, and I'm feeling fairly good about how long we've come with a relatively small amount of territory in a not terribly rich and not terribly food-rich part of the map, I think in the end we didn't play our diplomacy quite right. I'll try this at a later date myself just to see if the short fame victory for Strat Clut is more feasible if we try things in a different direction. Like if I were to expand into this part of the map really early, or go for Kirkin a little bit sooner, or something like that, or keep pushing down south. But again, the trick is, if you push down south too far, you end up not getting the fame victory, but winning the kingdom victory instead. It's much easier to get those short kingdom victories than the fame ones, unfortunately. So at any rate, this has been the campaign. I hope this doesn't give you a poor reflection on the game. In fact, just the opposite. On one level, while this is looking like a bit of a not fun bunch of work to deal with, I do appreciate the fact that the AI has given me a bit of a run for my money in terms of how I've chosen to play and the way that the game is challenging me. Notice that I had to deal with public order problems basically throughout. I had to deal with food problems throughout. I have to deal with disloyal generals still. So the game, in terms of its campaign mechanics, doesn't get stale. I don't feel, at least playing, you know, a fairly reserved way that I prefer to play, I never feel completely secure, and I do have to say I really like that. So could we win this? Maybe. It would be a lot of work, and I just don't feel like it. So I hope that doesn't disappoint you too badly. Those of you who've been following the series, I do appreciate it. We're going to get going on some other stuff later. I'm sure we'll come back to this campaign, or this game rather, as a different faction at some point. But I hope you enjoyed this look at Strat Clut and Thrones of Britannia. If you haven't given the game a shot, I would highly recommend it. You could certainly do better than I have, at least in this campaign. And so see how it is. Maybe try it out on a sale. But at any rate, thank you for joining me, and until the next series, take care.